Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You'll find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF, joined as always by my main man at FFSnoog. We got a fun show lined up for you tonight. A lot of you guys have been asking, what do I do with Rashee Rice? We really got to determine what his value is in Dynasty right now, what his role is going to be, what the suspension might look like. Snoog and I do this. We did this with Judkins, a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, we now have to do this for Rashee Rice because Snoog, the suspension is looming. A lot of people, I think it's safe to say, in that 4 to 6 game range after he's, going to do some jail time. It's not going to be an ideal offseason here for Rashee Rice. You and I have not dipped him down one single spot in our rankings. Keep trade cut has moved a little bit. I think ultimately we have to look at this as like the day he's suspended, right? We're going to go out and try to buy more. And the day he's suspended, Xavier Worthy instantly increases in value. But this is the time to buy Rashee Rice if you can get him now when the news first hits and then when the suspension fully hits. Those will be your times to buy.
It's not often we get a discount and a value opportunity on elite cornerstone wide receivers. So when you get it, you buy them. Like you buy them up like crazy. So that's our favorite thing to do in the Smash Accept, especially in our processes. Anytime, like as soon as the Judkins news happened, as soon as the Rashee Rice news happened, like me and Dad are texting each other like, you buy any Rice, you buy any Judkins, what are you paying for?
Yeah.
How much, how many shares have you bought? Because that's really how you win in Dynasty.
What's awesome about this, and there's the link there, patreon.com/Smash Accept. Tonight's show, we're going to cover 20 Dynasty trades where we are going, and we're most of them are from our Discord. A lot of guys on YouTube. We are going to take super chats tonight. We're kind of opening this up for an open forum to help you guys out because there's a lot of money to be had here. Rashee Rice is a foundational wide receiver who has put up, on short periods of time. I mean, last year, 18.2 fantasy points per game. Or if you look at his last 12 games where you take, his final 9, his rookie season and the beginning of 2024, Snoog, he's a wide receiver 1, and Xavier Worthy thrived because Rashee Rice was out. Let's just be honest. This is not Xavier Worthy's offense. Xavier Worthy's the deep guy. Rashee Rice is literally a Michael Thomas type, your slant god type player, someone that yards after the catch, yards per route run. He's finished top 5 in back-to-back seasons. This is a guy that we want to build. We want to get ourselves this foundational asset because unlike with the running back issue, and I know we covered the Quinshon Judkins, right? Judkins is a lot more replaceable than a Rashee Rice. A running back can be replaced. A wide receiver, I mean, this is their wide receiver 1. They are committed to Rashee Rice. He's the guy in Kansas City, tied to Patrick Mahomes. You can't go wrong having an elite asset in that type of situation. And that's what we want in Dynasty. We want to have elite wide receivers with elite traits that are tied to elite quarterbacks. And Rashee Rice is just that. I have not been able to make any trades yet, but we're going to cover 20 of them. Snoog, let's just jump right in. We're going to treat this just like we do with the trade shows. We're going to help you guys out with your questions. Remember, you guys can hit us up. I'm Dynasty Dad FF. He's at FFSnoog on Twitter. Brock's usually the host when we do these kind of things. But for tonight's show, this is just Snoog and I. We want to talk it up. We want to chop it with you right now. So Connor Omrine from the Discord, and you're going to see the first 13 trades are all from the Discord. One of the coolest parts about the Discord is, we help each other make trades, right? Like, so it's not just Snoog and I posting in there. I had a room. As soon as this happened, I created a thumbnail. I put a room. Let's see them Rashee Rice trades. Because in Dynasty, Snoog, it's about, I'm not saying it's copycat, but it's like, damn, this is a trade idea that could work in my league, and sometimes it used to be when this first started, I would text you, you would text me. Now we're at a spot where you're seeing guys in the Discord, and I'm like, every now and then I'm like, you know what? Like, this dude is making a legitimate trade here. This is the kind of trade that I would make. I love this move. I'm going to go make this offer.
Yeah, that's the best part about the Discord is us ourselves can go in there and ask questions. We can talk to the people in there. So I'm excited because I've been getting blown up in the DMs, blown up in my chat with Snoog section about Rashee Rice, Quinshon Judkins trades. I haven't gotten enough of it. So I'm excited to jump into 20 real life trades here, talk about the Rashee Rice process, what he's worth, what we're paying, what's like the most I'd pay, what I'd sell for if I'm looking to sell. I think the best bet is tearing off some of the higher end assets and getting Rice plus now, especially on a rebuild. Because if he misses 6 games, pat yourself on the back because that helps your max points for big time.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, right now, I still have him in the same tier as A.J. Brown, Tedroy McMillan, Travis Hunter, T. Higgins. Out of that group, I feel like, I mean, I would, at this point, I want Tet and Travis over Rashee just because of the age and because of the suspension. But I think the debate between A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, and Rashee Rice is very close to me. Like, I think if I'm all in and this is what has to be, then I want A.J. Brown. But I still value Rashee Rice over T. Higgins because we have a suspension worry, right? But T. Higgins gets injured every single year. Before we even get to Connors, we have a super chat. You know, we're going to keep this open for you guys on YouTube. If you want to come in, let's go ahead and do it. Corey Mercer, thank you very much for the super chat. The first question is Rashee Rice and a second enough to come off of Ladd McConkey for you?
Yeah.
Snoog, what do you think?
Early, you smash. Mid, fair. Late, I'd probably prefer Ladd just with the situation. But I think like their ceilings and their outcomes, like I think Rashee Rice has the better ceiling. I think he's probably a higher ceiling player, but I think Ladd's floor is way higher because he's not coming off a torn ACL. He's a lot younger. You know, he's not suspended for 4, 6, 7, 8 games. Like, there's more stability with Ladd, but there's more upside with Rashee. So I think if I'm rebuilding, yes. If I'm contending, no.
I think this is an interesting trade because Snoog, when we talk about elite trait wide receivers, your Garrett Wilsons, your CeeDee Lambs, your Puka Nakuas, you know, or maybe not Puka, but Brian Thomas Jr., Rashee and Ladd win. They're cerebral players. They're great route runners. They're guys that are good with yards after the catch, you know, very similar type players. For me, I would want Rashee in a first for Ladd in a second. I just think that's the market. And I think if you are trying to buy Rashee Rice and the guy doesn't want to sell him now, when the 6-game suspension comes, he's going to want to sell him, right? Like, that's the thing. If you're a contending team, look at the guy in your league that has Rashee Rice and just say, hey, let's see what this guy's team looks like. And if you see that Rashee Rice was his wide receiver 3, and now he's going to have to throw in, you know, he's going to have to put Jack Beck in his roster. Okay, this guy wants it, right? So now it's like, all right, now we're going to make this kind of move. You know, I think I would hold out. I want Rashee Rice in a late first for Ladd in a late second or mid second. You know, and I think that's the route. Yeah. But you don't have to make these moves. If you're rebuilding and you have Rashee, hold him. If you're contending and you have Ladd, hold him. But there's going to be money to be made. There's going to be opportunities. That's a great trade question, Corey. And, you know, keep those guys, those trades coming in. We always do that. Once we get like 5 of them, we'll give away a free month of the Discord. We will try to help you guys out because when you guys are coming in and answering these questions, Snoog and I literally are here just to help you guys smash trades. Like, that's what we live for. Snoog and I both had date night. It's Wednesday. You know, shout out to you know, Mandy and Megan. You know, like it was a fun date. You're not together. You know, we'll have to set that up for another time. But we're like, you know what, girls? Hey, we're gonna have to get some Smash Accept Dynasty trades in here. So let's do this first one here from Connor. Rashee Rice and a 27 first. We're gonna call it random, or Marvin Harrison Jr. I know you've been on the Marvin Harrison bandwagon. I've come and gone. I've kind of like, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. Rashee Rice, let's break this down, right? Early, it's a smash Rice. Mid, I think it's fair. Late, I lean Marv. And that's where that's my own breakdown of it, because when I make these kind of trades, I am all the way trying to diagnose what this trade looks like and what that 27 first looks like. I think ultimately, even if it's late, the Rashee side might still win when it's all said and done, you know?
I think everybody, like we've talked about this a lot. Me and you use this a lot. Everybody is a buy and a sell at a certain point. And in this case, I'm selling Marv because I want another foundational asset plus a 27 first. And that class, Dad, it could be one of those classes where late 27 first or Jalen Waddle or a Devontae Smith or, you know, a Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne, or even this past year, Michael Penix and Bo Nix, Xavier Worthy, like, in really strong classes, like 27 is projected, late first are good. So in my opinion, I think all around, I want the Rice side, unless it's like 112, but like as long as it's 110 or better, I'm good with Rice here because I think you're getting a guy that's going to probably, like, let's be honest, if Rice plays a full 17 games this year somehow, he's putting up more points than Marv. It's just going to happen in that Chiefs offense. It just, I know Marv's a lot younger, the pedigree, probably a better player. But from a fantasy football perspective, it's just that gap. And then the 27 first is just a cherry on top. That's a crumble cookie at the end of the night right there for you.
And Rashee's still just 25 years old. You know, he just turned 25. He's in that foundational range. I think Marv is going to be 22 this year. So you get that younger aspect in there. If this was 26, Snoog, I would need it to be mid to early, though. Like, I just valued that class totally different. I would need it to be mid to early. I am not 100% in on that 26 class. Let's take a look at our next trade in here. Keebers from the Discord. Again, you're going to see tons of trades from the Discord because that's literally where the bread and butter is. That's where these guys are formulating trades. That's where they're asking for advice. That's where we're giving things. This one here, Rashee Rice or Raheed Shaheed and a mid-27 first. So, Snoog, a lot of people have really asked me. They say, hey, you know what? I'm tired of knuckleheaded players. If I can get a 27 first that's random for Judkins or Rice plus a toss in, do I do it? And I have no problem with anybody doing that. You know, if you reset the clock, I would love for this to be Stephon Diggs in a 27 first. Or when it comes to Quinshon Judkins, I would love it to be Aaron Jones in a 27 first. I want a guy that's going to give me some production because that 27 first, there's a non-zero chance that a random 27 first will be worth more than Rashee Rice next year. Non-zero. I believe Rashee will be worth more, but let's say he does something dumb again. Let's say he gets another speeding ticket. Let's say he gets, instantly that value is going to drop hard because he's made a couple choices here in the past that just don't line up with what we want. Andy Reid seems to be very forgiving, kind of work with that. If this is random, would you take this trade if you're just risk averse?
You see, it feels like one of the things that we did last year. We were big on, especially you, I would say. I wouldn't say myself. I would say you. I'll give you the credit on this one. Resetting the clock with Rome Odunze, turning that pick into Brian Thomas Jr., Xavier Worthy, all those guys, plus a lot on top. Because those guys were at the back end of the first. Lab McConkey, plus, and then buying Rome Odunze back when the Bears team goes to shit.
Yeah.
And then selling him when Ben Johnson goes there. That's like what you can do with Rashee Rice. Like you can buy him right now, and then when he comes back from that 6-game suspension, everyone's gonna want him. Like everybody is gonna want him, especially if he goes out there and drops 20 points. You sell him for probably 2 firsts, and then you buy him back if anything happens, or if he has a sluggish type finish with the knee. So there's a good market with him right now, and if you just play that market right, you can be all on top of it. So I'd keep Rice here, but if that's mid-early, I want the 27. It would need to be Diggs, Devontae Adams, someone of that, a Kamara, James Conner type of player. Rashee doesn't do it for me.
My man, Not Goron, he comes in there. I love his tag there. A little bit of the hashtag for the love of the game. Love those kind of support shows because, see, a lot of you guys, it's like, hey, I love this message in the Discord where sometimes people say, you know what, Dad, Snoog, like you guys, I've been going through a rough patch at work. I've been going through a rough patch in life. The fantasy football show that you guys have in the community has really helped, and we actually have rooms in there where we talk man stuff. We talk shop. We have like rooms where, men and women, we have a lot of both. There's the age range is anywhere from, I found out yesterday, 14 to 65. And then there's, every single country. Like it's just such an awesome experience because it's not, fantasy football brings people together. It literally is one of those things where language doesn't matter, age doesn't matter. We're here to play a game that we absolutely love. And if you've always been in that spot where your friends are tired of listening to you talk about fantasy football, join us. $5 a month. You get access to Snoog. You get access to me. You get those DMs. You're going to get an opportunity where you're going to make some friends. Like guys in there right now, they're making their own leagues. The other cool thing is we're going to talk about this, and I want to give him a major shout out because I'm not going to call him Seth Owen. I'm going to call him Sean Owens. At Sean Owens, he says it's Rice season. He's a part of the staff now. He is a Smash Accept researcher. He found a bunch of the trades that were going to come here. And like we're giving guys opportunities. Al Kalo's in there, Scarface is in there. Sean, I promise I won't mispronounce your name again now that you're, officially part of the staff. So shout out to you. This is your Smash Accept, coming out party. Welcome to the team. We're really excited to have you. So the third trade here from the Discord from SSBB1248.
Good person there. Good guy.
Great guy. Don't know what his name is on that, but I have his name. And that's what I love getting to know these guys is I have all their tags on Twitter. have all their tags in Discord, and I'm like, what's your real name? And they're like, what's your real name? I'm like, I say it in the beginning of every show. Everybody calls me Dad, but clearly my name is Mike. Rashee Rice or 2 random 28 firsts?
I'm going with the 228s here. Too much uncertainty with those picks. Like, they could be so early, they could be late. Who knows? Nobody knows. Like, unless the team's loaded with all foundational assets. But
if they're both late, you still probably
win. You still probably win,
right? Because like, let's look at this year's class. You'd be talking about taking maybe Ibuka and Caleb Johnson.
Smash.
That's a win, right? And next year you're going to have some nice players in there. 27, 28 feels so far away. But when we get there, they're definitely going to increase in value.
Yeah, I agree there.
Next one here, we got another super chat from D. Love it, D.
A couple salutes.
A couple say, thank you so much, D. We appreciate you. You know, another guy in the Discord, another dog guy that we love chopping it up with. And Snoog, I know your room. And what's cool is most Discords, right? And I have a lot of guys that come in there and they say, you know what? I'm in a Discord for this podcast, and I get to talk to this one guy. You have Snoog, you have myself. And when I go in Snoog's room, I'm like, this is a different group of guys. You know, and then you go in my room and you're like, who are these guys? You know, but you can align wherever you want. And
like
then there's
first day of school.
Yeah. Then there's other guys where they're literally be like, I asked Snoog, Snoog said this. What do you think? Or I'm sure you get the same. I asked Dad, he said this. What do you think of that? It gives you 2 different analysts. And then you throw Al in there. You get 3 guys right now that are going to give you fantasy advice where when we all align, you know it's right on. If it's something similar, you know, like you can kind of play with which side you like. So this one's interesting. Adam 13 is awesome because he actually won his first month as a free trial on one of our giveaways and has been in there for a year now. Like he just was like, he got in for free and he's like, dude, I want this. Within the first week, he paid for a full year. He's like, and you can always get that discount. It's always a bigger discount when you pay for the year. Patreon.com/smash accept. Are we smashing this one? Justin Fields and Rashee Rice or Bo Nix? A lot of risk on that left side, but
there is risk. Call me a sucker, but all I needed to see was that Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson throw today to get me all juiced up again.
I got pumped.
Yeah, I'm getting sucked in. I'm stuck with the Jets again, rooting for that friggin' damn team and Garrett Wilson to actually have some success. But Justin Fields alone on a fully healthy 17 games outscores Bo Nix 10 times out of 10.
Well, like, the value's not the same. You know, the value on Bo Nix is right there.
But from a point perspective, and you get a cornerstone wide receiver, that's where it's fun.
I feel like the Knicks side is missing a mid to early second. It's missing a Devontae Adams. So now if we're on the other side, right, and we're trying to go all in, you give me Devontae Adams and Knicks, it's a fairly good trade. But right here, as it is, give me Fields and Rice. Another one here, trade 5 from Snake Blister in the Discord. Snake Blister, another cool story. Dude that I played with in a league where someone's like, hey, can I bring my friend in here? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I'm no longer part of that league anymore. It's a league I was in for 10 years, bunch of friends. He jumped in there. Now he's in the Discord, you know, and he's always trying to chop it up. So this one's interesting, Snoog. Josh Jacobs, Rashee Rice, or random 26 and random 27. You know, and I think sometimes we really got to look at it as I look at random. When somebody tells me random, I say that's mid. Yep. I never say that's early. I never say that's late. You know, I want to say it's mid.
Rebuild, I'm smashing the picks. Mm-hmm. If I'm like a true contender where it's like those guys put me over the top, I want the players. Because I think Rice and Jacobs are literally league winners from like a contending standpoint, especially for this year and next year. Mm-hmm. So it's context needed here, but this is a good price to get in, especially if you're trading your picks. And like I'm assuming if you're getting these two, your teams are really good. So I think it's a good move to make.
Well, and I think the Jacobs Rice side here, even if you're contending, you know, and Rice gets suspended, you're still going to be able to trade him probably for more than what it's there. Or if you have that's where if I make that trade, then I trade for Stephon Diggs, I trade for Devontae Adams, I trade for someone else, and then when he's ready, you throw him in.
See if this guy has an Adams or a Kamara or a Diggs or a Connor, throw him a third or a second just to get it done and get that player involved.
Yeah, and I think on the other side, the 26-1 and 26 or 27-1, throw me a Braylon Allen, Ray Davis, running back, insurance running back that could turn out to be a little bit more. Trade number 6 here from Badek Justler Discord. Yes, that is pronounced correctly. His trade here is, you're going to like this one, Garrett Wilson, Rashee Rice in a second, or
I want to bust it out.
Stevie. Hey, this isn't even the show. Dude, Snoop, with the new background, how sick does that look? You get the cowbell, you get the smash accept. It's where it's at. So shout out to my daughter. She helped me install this whole thing. We got the new background here. This is legit. This is actual, we got brick back there. It is not just a piece of paper. Or one of those fake overlays. For me, I mean, this is Garrett and Rice so bad, right? Darren Waller is not the answer. I got him. He's my most owned tight end now because I got him for free everywhere. But Rashee Rice, Garrett Wilson, 27-second smash over Lamb. Brownleck from the Discord has one here. Rashee Rice and that mid 27 first or BTJ. Don't say it. Don't do it. Don't do it on me. Come on. You're gonna want to say Rashee Rice, but it's Brian Thomas Jr. here.
I want to say it. I really do. I just love seeing a first attached to another elite player's name for an elite player.
Right.
I just feel like that's like the best way to build in Dynasty.
Well, BTJ's 21, right?
You
and
can
Rashee's 25.
lose playing. You can definitely get screwed playing like that. But like I remember doing it with, who was it? When Garrett Wilson was a rookie, I remember doing it a lot. I was trading a lot of AJ Brown at the time and like those type of players and getting like Garrett in a 26 first, Garrett in a 24 first. Because back then it was like 2022 class. So I was getting 23 and 24 first on top. And like that really helped me build a lot of teams doing that.
Insulating is the way to go. I think Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. types, they're 21 years old.
They're pretty untouchable.
Nico Collins, I would do this. Puka Nacua, I might do this, but Nico, I'm definitely doing it. Like, I just think BTJ has such an elite ceiling.
Yeah. There's too much risk. I'm not doing it either.
Because that mid could be late. If it's one of those ones, and Snoog, we all know it, right? That trade when that guy thinks it's mid, but you look at his roster and you're like, oh my gosh.
I was gonna say, if it has a chance to be the Jeremiah,
101.
If that's Jeremiah, it's the best player in the trade. Hands down.
Jeremiah Smith, they were saying, is the most polished, best wide receiver to ever come out in Ohio State.
Right now, he's better than BTJ.
Day one. Where has he become in your dynasty rankings? Like in 2 years. I did this exercise the other day and I got yelled at.
In 2 years, it'll be Malik Neighbors, then Jeremiah. And then it'll probably be like,
because the tricky part is at that point in 2 years,
28, 27.
Yeah, right. So like he's going to be top 5
dynasty. A lot's going to flip.
He's going to be a top 5 dynasty wide receiver day one. So those 27s definitely pay off. Trade 8, Quag Marole. I definitely butchered that one, but I love you, brother. New to the Discord. Brees and a 27-second, or Rashee Rice and Tajay Spears.
I've had a thing for Brees Hall.
I know. I think I actually want Brees here too. And I think what I do is I trade for Brees now, and then when the suspension happens, right, then I get Rice cheaper, and then I go ahead and you just flip flop.
I like it because I'm super big on the whole talent thing. You're super big on the whole market thing too, and then we combined it, and it's like Brees Hall is cheap enough and really, really talented enough to the point where you're getting him right now. He can be like that 4th round or whatever. He's going in startups like 4th or 3rd round, like league winner that finishes like RB2 overall with 300 plus points.
If this was, I think a fair market right now would be Rice in a second for Brees, or Rice in a 3rd, or Rice. And I feel like you should value Brees over Rice at this current juncture in time. And I think a 2-3 swap. Yeah, that's kind of where it is. So Mayday, welcome. This is his first time on the show. I love that when there's guys in the Discord and they finally realize the full potential of the Discord, right? You're not just talking in there, but you get to be on the show. Like I got to give a shout out. We had, and I'm gonna butcher his name because I'm not as good as Brock, but we had a show Jared Hergesheimer. He was like, dude, that was so cool. I was the first guy on the show. And we did that on the trade show yesterday. Mayday, you are on the show. Welcome. Rashee Rice or Chuba and Flowers. I love this. I think when this is all said and done, we talk about trying to tear off of Zay Flowers. And I think moving up to a Rashee Rice, for me, most of the market, like if you ask anybody, they're going to probably be on the Chuba Flower side, but Rashee Rice is another level, right? Like Rashee Rice was putting up 18 fantasy points per game every single week, getting close to that 100-yard mark, whereas Zay Flowers is 50% of his games are under 40 yards and 50% of his games are, over 80. That's a massive gap where Rashee Rice, crazy consistent. So I like this.
If Flowers went to the Chargers like I wanted him to,
yes,
he would probably be valued as a top 15 wide receiver right now. But he's with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and an offense where it's not super targeted on one person. It might change. I think there's a good chance it does. He gets a lot of manufactured touches, but there's just so much to spread around there. So
yeah, and I think he ultimately is a guy that's he seems like a Baltimore guy that's going to stay in town. Van Jirel from the Discord, another new to the show, Rashee Rice or a mid 26 and mid 27 first. There, I got to take the picks. If you're giving me what looks like a mid 26 and a mid 27, I'm going with the picks there, Snoog. I can't do it.
I'm taking the picks all day long there too, as well. Like you got to understand when a player is going through this type of situation, you don't want to you don't want to pay what he was worth before that. That's like what he was worth before that. Like 2 random firsts. If that, like maybe like just less than 2 random firsts, like Rice in a second for 2 firsts. Now you should be paying a first or a first and a throw in, like a player like I don't know, a Michael Pittman or a player like that, a Luther Bird and someone like that.
Oh, I like that. Tear up off
pretty,
of those guys.
But yeah.
We have a bunch of those from Sean that we're going to cover later. Ski Powderut from the Discord, another new show. Rashee Rice or Zay Flowers in a second. I think this is a smash. I think this is a trade you can get done though. I think this is definitely a trade you can get done. And Zay Flowers is fine, but Rashee Rice, this is great. Another new guy from the Discord, Captain Crunk. Love that name. That's super cool. His is more of a question. If I'm rebuilding, is Jaden Higgins and a 26 first, not his, too much for Rashee Rice?
It's off by a second.
I think would you late first and Higgins? You'd prefer the Higgins side?
I would take Rice. I'd need a second on the Higgins side to take it.
Yeah. Oh, he's buying Rice. So I mean, that pick.
I'd do it. I would do
that
it.
pick would have to be about
as long as it's not your own first.
Right. And that's what I was saying. So the next part I wanted to talk about, and I already said this before. Shout out to put it as there, my man. I put Seth Owens again just to mess with you. Sean Owens has been an awesome guy. Someone that's been getting a ton of stuff. I keep calling. I'm getting old. It's dementia. You know what I mean? But honestly, he's a part of that Smash Accept research team. We got a lot of the guys in there. He's gonna correct. We're gonna make T-shirts like just say he found all these trades. I love him. He might get his kids to call him Seth now instead of Sean. It'll be your nickname. It's like that when you're in the office, right? And like the boss calls you the wrong name all the time, but you don't correct him. You're just like, yeah, okay, that's my name. Well, that'll work. That'll work for me. So these are some great trades that he pulled up here. Rice in a 27 first or Ladd in a 26 third and fourth. Here's the question. If that's Ladd and a 27 second.
I still want Rice. I don't think Ladd's that type of player where you should be giving up a player of his caliber and a first. I feel like it's how you get burnt. It feels like back then when Garrett was balling out and London was kind of in the shitter, putting up like 800 yards for 2 straight seasons, and you give a first on top of London for Garrett. It feels like that type of situation for how I'm viewing it and kind of feeling it out.
Next one here, we're up to trade 15. And like I said, we're going to try to do 20 of them here for you. If you guys have any other super chats, we'll jump on them. Rashee Rice or a random 27 first and second?
Mid, fair, late, smash, early, you get smoked.
That's right. And that's really what it's all about in 27. We talk about that all the time.
You get smoked.
What about this one getting smoked? Rashee, and we're going to call them randoms, but a random 26 and a random 27 first or Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh, there
nice. That's it. Just answered it for me,
dude.
Right there.
That's a cowbell. That's a smash. It's gone. It's gone. It's such a smash. It is totally gone.
I was gonna say I got the Jahmyr Gibbs signed jersey sitting behind me, and even I'm saying cowbell for Rashee Rice there. 2 firsts on top. That's how you get it done.
My man Matt Glure, awesome guy here. 1 quarterback, start 8. QBs are Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, Drake May. First off, let's just say that you have too many good quarterbacks there. You got to be moving one of those guys. And that's the next part. Trade May for Ayuk, a second. Tight ends are Strange, likely Arroyo. Trade 26 first for Hawk. Well, Snoog, it is a one quarterback league. But I do think I think Daniels is your league winner, period. Yeah. You should be able to trade. You should still be able to get a first in one quarterback for Patrick Mahomes. I would rather
Mahomes for stability.
But I mean, you already have Daniels. May's going to be right there. But one of those guys you should be able to get a first.
Yeah.
Ayuk in a second doesn't do it for me. Like, I just don't.
No.
That there's no real advantage there. May, I feel like,
at least
can get you a little bit more. Traded 26 first for Hawk and
no,
you're getting Hawkinson and the 201, like an early second.
I don't like Hawkinson. I'm not a big Hawkinson guy.
He's still a top 10 guy. I think with Strange likely in Arroyo. That's an ugly. If you're a contender, I think that's I'm taking Hawkinson.
Has anyone gotten more hurt than TJ Hawkinson? I feel like he's always hurt. He was a dog before that ACL. I hope he comes back from it, but
this is a real good question from Main Mac in the Discord. DK Metcalf and what for Rashee Rice? So let's talk about this. It's not a first though. I mean, I feel like
an early second.
Yeah, but I think this is the one where you get the 1-2 swap. So if you're buying DK, it's Rice in a second for Metcalf in a first. You know, like I don't want to. I would add any second. I would add a pair of seconds to get from DK to Rice. What about you? Like, I feel like I would add my 27 and 28, my 26, my 27, a pair of 26s, a pair of 27s. Give me 2 seconds and Metcalf and give me Rashee Rice. I'll do that all day long. I'm going to get 3 years younger. I'm going to put up really good points, and I'm fine on a rebuilding team to go ahead and get Rashee Rice to get younger. On a contending team, Snoog, I mean, Metcalf's going to go up in value a little bit for a contender. Given his age, not a lot, but I think DK Metcalf's there. So I think if I'm buying DK, I would want to pay a little bit less. But if I'm buying Rice, I think that's the max that I would be willing to pay. Got a couple more here from my man Sean Owens. We're gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right. I promise. I'm gonna get some tattoos to remind myself. Here's a fun one with the allure of Rashee Rice. The potential suspension, the potential breakout. Would you rather have Rashee Rice or Rome Odunze right now? I am officially. I prefer Rice. I just think
same.
if there's a 6-game suspension, Rome could blow up and have a major flip.
Rome. I was gonna say the market's gonna say Rome. I think we're a year two. I think Rome's gonna have like a 900 to maybe a K, like a solid good year in the right 1K. Direction, or maybe another like 850 to 900, like a London first 2 seasons, and then break out. I think we're still early on Odunze. Like, I think DJ's got to go, and Komet will probably end up going. Like, they're gonna have to save some cap, cut some guys, trade some guys, whatever it's gonna be, and then I think it's gonna be him and Loveland's time to shine.
For sure. Next one, Rashee Rice, Matthew Golden, and a random 26 first, or Puka and Myers.
I want Rice here.
I do too. I think
if I don't like Golden, I can tear up off him in that 26 first and go get a Garrett Wilson or an AJ Brown type of player and keep Rice and the other player.
I think Myers is probably the add-on that gets this done. I feel like Rice Golden in a first right now is probably the going market for Puka. Myers gets it done. Myers is a guy that Snoog and I both agree that could put up top 24 to 36 numbers, but just no dynasty value. Like, you try selling him for a second. Go ahead. Just try it. It just doesn't happen, like he's worth it, but nobody's going to pay it. Rashee Rice and Quinshon Judkins in a second. So our all incarcerated team, Snoog, we were talking about that, or Teteroy McMillan and RJ Harvey.
This trade could blow up in my face so bad, but I don't think
Teteroy McMillan is worth more than Rashee Rice, period. And he's going to be peppered as his rookie year, and he's almost 4 years younger. So I think the Tet over Rice is huge. Harvey and Judkins, I have as a wash given the current risk, and that has to be involved there. Even if he comes back, we have to realize if something happens again, that value is nullified. The second doesn't do it for me. I would want Harvey and Tet there. And that's an interesting one. And guys, in the comments, let us know with some of these, like you're going to agree with Snoog, you're going to agree with me, you're going to, maybe disagree with both of us, but let us know in the comments, like the page, because that kind of stuff really adds to what we're trying to do here. It gets us in on our algorithm, everything that we're really trying to do over here. I have another, let's see, down tier. Okay. This guy wants to know, Keegan Lavicky wants to know, if you're going to tear down from Devon A-Chain all the way down to Rashee Rice, what would you need? It's
1-2 swap.
Sean said he'll be Seth if you need us to. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. And I think that's the 1-2 swap you're looking for. Don J Rod says Luther Burden and a mid to late 26 first or Rice. If it's late, I'm smashing Rice. If it's mid, I think it's fair. I think if I'm rebuilding, if I'm rebuilding, I want that Burden side, but that's an interesting one for sure. Let me come up through here real quick. We got quite a few trades here. You guys keep throwing them in there. We're trying to keep it 2 Rashee Rice type trades. How about this one? Rashee Rice or your boy, Keon Coleman, Tajay Spears, and a 26 first.
I feel like one of Keon or Spears is going to be decent, but that's just like
polish it up,
package him up, put him with the mid to late 26 one, and go get yourself a foundational asset.
Tie a bow on that turd sandwich and add a first and get it done. Rashee Rice, Travion Henderson, Luther Burden, or Justin Jefferson?
Justin Jefferson. I need a 27 first instead of Burden.
Instead of Burden. That's what I said too. You know what I mean? And I was like,
yeah.
A couple quick hitters here. Guys, our draft boards right now, it's right around right around the corner for your live drafts. Draftkits.co. Go over there, use code DAD25, get yourself 10% off. I know that doesn't seem like a lot. We just gave away another $25 draft board. They have the greatest draft boards that you guys are ever going to use. Reusable stickers, vinyl, custom. You can get it to say Snoog's Crumble Cookie League. Get all your girls over there, get everything set up. Patreon.com. We got everything going on right now. Snoog, everything from Dynasty to redraft to, talking life to, try just everything that you guys would want to be a part of. We're doing over there in that Discord. I know you just updated your rankings today. I did mine over the weekend. Oh, you were just pointing. He's pointing right
down to the link.
Yeah. So check us out, guys. I mean, we offer a money back guarantee. If you don't like it the first month, we will refund your money. Still, no one's done that. It's not something that we would do it if you guys ask, but no one has asked. So that really speaks to what we're trying to build there. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate all the comments, everything that we do on the live feed. So thanks again for tuning in and enjoy the process.